first-year nursing major, and I'm running to be your incoming secretary. Growing up in a predominantly white community for the past 9 years, UFC fostered a welcoming space to embrace my Filipino culture. I want to help build an inclusive community that UFC created for me and seek ways to improve UFC to ensure the longevity of this club. I've worked on 3 officer boards, my first position being secretary for my key club. I understand the vitality of organization, accuracy, and transparency, and through these skills I hope to make UFC accessible and inviting for all. Thank you.
Am I good to go anytime? All right. So I'm Donny, and I plan on roasting myself or to start off. Like, I like to procrastinate, but in all honesty, I believe that I'm a good candidate to run as a secretary because when it comes to emailing or communicating messages to people like in a work environment, I make sure to prioritize and communicate any important announcements or messages to people I need to reach out to. So, yeah. Salamat po.
Cool. So your first question is that communication is an important part about being a secretary. Communication with other officers is an important part about being a secretary. How will you keep yourself available to the other officers to help contact you and reach out to you when they need you to do something?
Wait, did you say
Sorry.
Sorry.
Communication with other officers is an important part of being secretary. How will you keep yourself available for the other officers to contact you?
Oh, sure. So just to keep myself just available, just for any time at any point for if any officers needs to reach out to me. I just make sure to just to tell them ahead of time, or just to, just like what's my what's the most quickest way to reach out to me, through like social media or just messages, and I just let them know ahead of time, just like what my schedule is as well, during the week. So yeah.
I think it's important to open up different ways to communicate with each other, so whether it be through Instagram, email, text message, even calling on the phone if you prefer that. I think it's easier for my past officer boards. We had a spreadsheet, and we basically just put in like our primary contact information and then backup contact information just in case the first one doesn't work. And also, as for like scheduling purposes, we have like a Google Calendar, a shared Google Calendar that we had within the officer board, just to make sure that we're not contacting each other while we have classes or other responsibilities.
So the duties of secretary are fairly routine. How would you respond or act in a situation where you're unable to keep that routine?
Could you repeat the question?
The duties of secretary are fairly routine. How would you respond or act in a situation where you're unable to keep that routine? Say like your workload, your homework load is getting really high and you're unable to keep up. How would you respond? Or what would you do?
I think it's important if someone's workload is getting really high. For example, like if my workload is getting really high and I need some support, I'll go out and ask the other officers on the officer board, because we are working as a team as an officer board. It's not an isolated job, and it's also not a competition of who can, complete their tasks first. So it's important to rely on each other, whether it be to solely finish the task, but also for emotional support. And that doesn't just go for me if I need help lightening my workload. It also goes for another officer who's experiencing like the same thing, or if they're experiencing like hardships or stress. It's important to sympathize with them and help each other out.
All right, so for me, I say also as well, just to reach out ahead of time as possible to to other officers or just anyone that you can that can also relay the message as well as needed, and also as well just to just to let them know why, or as well why you can't message ahead of time as needed as well. So yeah, that's what I think is too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.